What's going on, everybody? You know what it is. It's your boy Earl Christian III, aka Big Business. Welcome to another episode of the Urban Wall Street Project. Today we got a beautiful, beautiful thing happening, a special treat. We're on location in beautiful Brooklyn, New York, with Miss Debbie Singleton, owner of Debbie's Reins and Things. You want to see a black cowgirl? You want to understand the field and the industry in the world of equestrian and equine training? We're about to walk up inside and see some beautiful things. Say hey, Debbie.
Hey.
All right, let's go walk inside. Y'all already know what it is.
All right.
So now we're inside Debbie's Reins and Things, and Debbie's going to walk through this. We're going to walk through the showroom, and the store is beautiful, as you'll see. It's very long, very spacious. Some beautiful things in here, and designs, and hats, and belts, and scarves, and all types of trinkets. It's really beautiful, but we're going to talk about it, and Debbie's going to talk to us about Debbie's Reins and Things, her passion for being an equestrian, her passion for horses, and what she's doing with her program, and some of the great things she has coming up this year. Debbie, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
All right.
So we're in Debbie's Reins and Things. We're in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, you are.
Tell us about Debbie's Reins and Things.
Well, Debbie's Reins and Things has been in existence since 1999, but this is our new location at 332 Douglas Street, and we've been here going on 2 years now. When we first opened the door, the folks in the neighborhood looked at us kind of strange, but now that the equine or equestrian folks and the bikers and all of them, they're finding us, our customer base is growing pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. So you see lovely hats. We're all into the hats. I'm loving the cowboy hats. You know we're going to have a couple of those. You will see me rocking on the Urban Wall Street Project. But look at this beautiful showroom. Look at the showroom, ladies and gentlemen. Then we have some saddles right here, right? Some beautiful saddles. Now, some people may have never seen a saddle up close and personal. Debbie, tell them about the saddle as we look at it.
Okay, well, we have different kinds here. The ones that we have down on the floor here, they're just a plain old Western saddle. This is a newer Western saddle. It's just nothing special about it. This is good for pleasure riding. Nothing heavy. If you just want to go out on a Sunday afternoon and take a trot around the park, then this would be something for you. And the second saddle here is from way, way back. As you can see, it's kind of seen its better days. It's a little hard in the seat, but you can't kill it, okay? You just can't kill it. It will be here long after me, okay? And the third saddle is a newer saddle. It's a pony, not a pony saddle, but a child's saddle. As you can see, it's a lot smaller than the other two. It's relatively new. You see the plush fleece under the bottom to help to protect the horse and kind of cushion the ride. So this is for maybe a 5-, 6-year-old child.
That's beautiful. Now, you get a little bit of taste of some serious history. Now, a lot of people may not have known that, you know, the urban America and urban people, we've played major roles in a lot of different areas in history. And yes, we were cowboys and cowgirls. Tell my people, my audience, that may not know a little bit of history about the cowgirls and the cowboys of yesteryear.
Well, I guess the most important fact a lot of people don't know about is that the term cowboy came from slavery time. He was the boy that tended the cow for massa. So when the equines were introduced to North America, massa said, let the cowboy handle it. Okay, cowboy would break the horses, go chase the wild horses, bring them back, tame them, bull, you know, do the bucking, the bronco riding, the whole nine, do the cattle drives, whatever you. They would race. We were outstanding jockeys. Okay, when things became famous and lucrative, just like everything else in history, we were kind of priced out of it. But now we're coming to take our history back.
Okay. That's right. And we're going to educate you on the history as we walk through it. So now we have some more hats over here. These are generally straw hats, but definitely some good-looking hats over here. You know, I might try one on for y'all a little bit later so you can see how we do it. And I'm liking the leather vests here for the ladies and the little leather skirts. See these all the time. Not necessarily on Cowgirls, but we do see leather skirts, all right?
We also sell biker stuff. Our motto is real horse, steel horse. We got something for you. So these are for our steel horse cowgirls.
Oh, we definitely got a lot of steel horse out there, huh? So now we're coming to some definitely paraphernalia representative of the cowgirl, cowboy. I see what are these stirrups?
Those are spurs. The spurs, and believe it or not, the most customers for the spurs here are bikers.
Bikers?
Bikers, believe it or not.
Yeah, because I was reading about that. I was reading much information, and he was talking about, ironically, how the bikers, I think he was reading about it, we were talking about it just briefly, about how the bikers are really getting into it. What is it you think about the spurs that the bikers are interested in?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the noise as they're walking, when, you know, it's hitting the ground, the jingle bobs, because some of them make noise. But it looks real slick when they get dressed up in their chaps, their jackets, and have a pair of spurs on, and it looks really sweet on the bike. Because it's chrome, just like some of the piping.
Right. Now, a quick history lesson, because my people at home, my children at home, my kids, my young people in urban America, you know, spurs are not necessarily for bikes. There is a history behind the spur. So if you don't know what the spur is used for on the bottom of a cowboy boot, Debbie's going to let you know what the actual purpose of a spur is.
It is to encourage the horse that you're riding to do what you want him to do. It doesn't hurt them. You don't jam the spurs into them. You roll them. As you can see, they have little rattles on the end where this rolls. So sometimes the horse, he doesn't want to be focused. Something will distract him and he'll look away, or he wants to be stubborn. So you just kind of roll the spurs off, and he does what you want him. Sometimes all the horse has to do is see you strap the spurs on. Okay, and then it's like, okay, it's time to go to work.
Just that visually, so they know upon seeing it. Okay, now I see you have some other clothing here. This is some cowboy type paraphernalia, right?
Those are my Western shirts with the smile pockets and the pearl snap buttons.
Oh, this is cool. I like the black here. This is kind of slick right here. I'm feeling that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have it and then now it's this denim blue. It's nice. And look at that, triple XL for my big brothers.
That's right. We look out for everyone. We go from extra small to 5X.
Excellent. This is just beautiful. And then I see some, look, cowgirls do it better. Cowgirls do it better. That's what I see. Cowgirls leave the seat down. That's very important.
And I'd like to give you a little history on these dolls here. It's a lady by the name of Mrs. Madison. She does these dolls by hand. She's about 85 years old, and she's kind of put her heart in these dolls. Everything that these dolls are wearing, she has gotten from around her house. She doesn't throw anything away. She's gotten the hair, the clothes, everything she's done, you know, from the scraps that she keeps at home.
I'm really feeling this shop. If you're looking at it at home, this is a great, and it's very tranquil in here. It doesn't feel like I'm in Brooklyn. I feel like I'm up in the mountains, you know, in a nice, quiet spot here, a river running in the back. Doesn't it feel like that, Mello? It feels like that.
After we settled in a little while, we were told by one of the neighbors that this used to be a stable.
Really?
And by the front door was the water trough. So that explains why the first day I walked through the door, I felt that I needed to be here. Okay, it kind of called to me.
So as I'm going to pause. I like this background here. So Debbie, tell my people, you know, you're a cowgirl. Tell us about how you even got started being in this industry. In this, is it an industry? What is it?
Well, it is an industry. It's a lifestyle, a passion.
That's what it is, a lifestyle.
Okay. When I was a little girl, I was born in South Carolina, and I, as a little girl, bugged my parents for a pony. Well, I didn't get one in South Carolina, and we moved to New York by the time I was kindergarten age. So I felt that was a blown dream. When I became 13, I would go to Prospect Park every Sunday, and I would ride. And I did that for a few years. I stopped for a few years, and then I got back into it heavily about 15 years ago. I started doing rodeos and, you know, just general competitions. And it gives me such peace. I retired recently from Verizon as a telecommunications manager. One manager would always wonder why at 5 o'clock it was like post time at Aqueduct. So I told her one day, follow me. So she did, and I placed her at the stable at a place where I know she could see everything. And every now and then I would come back and I'd look at her, and she would have the look of euphoria on her face. So from that day on, she never had to ask me why. And she would just drop by on her own just to get some of that peace.
Get some of that.
You know, it's just tranquility. It's my therapy.
That's how it feels. So you've been doing this for a long time. What's one of the greatest, I guess, the joys that you get from the animal? I mean, you always love animals. I'm assuming you love animals.
Yes. Well, I think the biggest reward is the children. Where I board my horses is Brownsville. And you would see the tough guys with the gold teeth and the gold chains, and, you know, but when they saw you on horseback, they became the children that they really were. You could see the questions in their eyes, and they would ask you. And I don't believe in carrying guns, you know, even though the Wild Wild West, that's the way it was. But I don't believe in that. So, you know, I was glad to talk to the kids because they would ask me, well, Miss, you know, what do you do with the horses? How do you train them? How do you feed them? What do you put on them? You know, so that was my way of interacting with them and trying to give them something back. The most rewarding experience was at St. Mary's Children's Hospital, where the kids were all in wheelchairs. When you put them on the horse, it was as if nothing was wrong. Right. You know, and even the children with autism. We had one little boy come down to the stable that never said anything, and when he left, he was saying horsey. Wow. So it reaches places that we can't. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's why with my program that I have, I feel that we have to be creative. Question. Okay, the name of my non-for-profit is Reach Back Community.
We're going to talk about that. I want to talk about the Reach Back non-profit organization you have going on. So I want my audience to be a part of it. And if you're looking out, definitely, contributions, even if it was so much of a dollar, a quarter. A quarter from 1 million people is about $250,000.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yes.
Urban Wall Street, you know how we think. Think consciously like that, a quarter from one of us. But I'm not going to get into that, but that's how you can contribute to a cause like she's speaking of and make a huge difference on the lives of some young children.
And that's what horseback riding and being involved with horses mean to me. It's not just for me, but it's for the community. You know, it's something that everybody can take part in. Right. It's something different, and we got to be different and creative to reach back into our community and take our children.
Exactly, that's what it's about. And it's about that creativity. And as an administrator working with schools and students and running a young producers program, I've realized that our kids need to be stimulated. What they're getting in school right now, some of the same lessons, whether it's history or English or math, the same lessons I had or you had or my people at home had. And it's like you have to change. The world and times have changed substantially since we were children, but we're still giving this generation the same type of material. So you have to start stimulating those new ideas, new visions, new desires and passions that they have. And I believe everybody loves horses, just from the Mr. Ed to just going to camp and going to visit your neighborhood, your neighbors or your cousins and relatives down south. You knew you'd see horses and cows and things of that nature. Some people have never been so privileged to ride a horse, but let's talk about the horse riding experience. Let's talk about the horse riding experience. So if you're home and you've never ridden a horse, Debbie's going to talk to you about what it feels like to ride a horse and control that animal or work with that animal, because you're actually probably never really in control.
You're not in control. It's a partnership. You're in negotiations constantly. It's mystical almost. It's such a awesome feeling that you need to bond with the animal. He can feel everything through the saddle. If you're nervous, he can feel the shaking through the saddle. But it is just pure heaven. That's the only way to describe it. You have something that is so awesome, so majestic, so huge, that it's allowing you, it's submitting to you to the point where it's allowing you to be on its back, and it's allowing itself to submit to you to tell it what to do. So if you ever question God, when you get on the back of a horse, your questions are answered.
I know that's right. Now, I want to continue walking a little bit because there's more things. I just want people to see the depth of the store. And see, we have our jeans, because you can't be a cowgirl or cow person without jeans. You got to have some denim, right?
Yes, indeed.
Got to have denim.
That's uniform.
That's uniform, The denim is uniform. Seemed like you'd want to have a leather or suede vest, too, to go over that button-up shirt.
Yeah, oh, yeah, and that's what we got here. We got vests. We have your wallets, the long wallets to go in your back pocket so you don't lose your money or your ID. Okay, we got gloves, not only for motorcycle riders, but I wear leather gloves riding all the time.
And are these candles of some sort?
These are 100% soy candles.
Soy candles?
Oh, they are delicious. They really are. And every time someone come in, I kind of hold them hostage near this counter and make them take a whiff.
I'm leaving here with a soy candle. That was French vanilla. That was beautiful. I'm going to smell all of them. That was beautiful. Soy candles. I've never heard about a soy candle. Tell me about this.
100% natural. Made out of soybean. And no wax. It doesn't burn black. It doesn't take the oxygen out of the room. All you smell is French vanilla.
That's beautiful.
Okay, and it makes you hungry too, so you gotta
make you hungry.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
kind of tantalize those senses.
That's all right. That's
okay.
All right. So as we walk, so I see that we have some jackets here. Now these could be actually, you can walk with me here. These could be actually cowboy jackets, or you can use, this could be a motorcycle jacket too. It can serve for both.
Right. Well, most of the time you'll see the motorcycle riders with this.
Okay.
The cowboy leathers are usually Frenches. I don't have any in stock right now, but some of the cowboys like the Frenches, but some of them like just the plain old leather jacket because it helps block the wind.
Okay.
Okay.
I see we have some boots over here. Got to see the cowboy boots, and a lot of different things. So these clothes, are these clothes that you have? Are these clothes like that you sell? Do you have deals with other stores, or they just mark or people?
Go straight to the distributor.
Oh, straight to the distributor. Okay.
These happen to be from Australia. These are Kakadu, and they're waterproof. Well, they're water resistant and they're wind resistant, and they're really, really nice piece.
That's great. That's great.
That's a really nice piece. And I'd like to give you a little history on this chair.
Yeah, let's talk about this chair. Mike, get a close up of this chair. Look at the details, the horns, and this chair is great.
This chair was found on the street, getting ready to be thrown out as discarded as an old chair. I have a cowboy by the name of Al Stewart who decided he wanted to bring the chair in because he felt it had potential.
Okay.
Well, one of the neighbors down the block gave him that picture. Okay, and he started to go to work on it. And every day he'll come to me, Debbie, the Lord done told me to do something else to that chair. And he'd go out, pull the chair outside with his wood burning tool, and he would get busy. And he finally finished. He even did the horns. Okay, beautiful piece of work.
Yeah, that is great. That is excellent. And then even the detail, how the back looks like a horseshoe.
Well, and if you look at the bottom, he gave him some hoofs.
Wow.
He tried to give it some hoofs on the bottom.
And like a little fringe in case it's a girl, right? Little skirt.
Yeah, you got to please everybody.
That's great. That's great. Oh man. So now we have over here. She has some boots, because you can't have a cowboy store or a horse shop without some boots.
That's right. We got all different kinds. We have our lizards. We have some string ups.
That shoe. That's a nice shoe. That's yeah, nice to understand. That's a beautiful shoe. Let's get a better look at this. Look at that, Mello. That's a good looking shoe. Now, this is a male's or female? It's a male's boot, okay.
You can get the same style in female.
Okay.
Everything you see here, you can get for the opposite sex as well.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, and those are my favorite over there. Those are gators.
These.
No, the ones there. Those are beautiful.
Look at these.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Wow.
Okay.
I like your knees.
Yeah.
I need to come up in here and whoa.
Oh yeah, those are really nice.
These are serious. You like these, Mello? Trust me, we're going to Urban Wall Street, Gator boots. You're going to see it. That's great. Are these like ostrich?
No. Those are. Yes, they are.
These are ostrich,
Yes,
right?
they are.
This is great.
Yes,
ostrich.
they are.
Your boy knows.
All right. All right.
Ostrich, okay?
Yes, indeed.
This is a great boot. You see that, Mello?
And
It's a great
they're
boot.
comfortable.
Comfortable, right?
Very comfortable.
I can imagine.
You don't need to break them in. Just put them on.
You need a job to have a pair of these, though.
Hello.
I had some rent up under here.
Hello.
That is so cool. That's so cool.
Wow. And then we have the dusters, the old-fashioned. This is a better way. With the Clint Eastwood kind of thing working here.
Cool.
Okay.
Feeling that.
All right. And nice lining. Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
These are really great. You can wear them as you're riding. You put them on. You have a gullet up under there where you just strap them around your legs, and when you sit down, it protects the back of the saddle. You can put a little bit of it over the horn, and everything stays dry.
Wow, that is great. That is great. So now, I guess we got upstairs too. Yeah, we got to see the upstairs. So let's go on and walk with Debbie and see what's upstairs. You can hold this and kind of walk us through what we see.
Okay, well, this is called the tack department, and tack is the equipment that you put on the horse. Okay. Here are our headstalls. This is what you put on the head of the horse.
Okay.
And here is where you would put the bit, and the bit is the thing that controls him.
Okay.
Okay. And here we have something that's called a halter. And this is something that you would keep on him at all times when he's in his room, which is called a stall.
Okay.
You will leave it on him in case you have to get him out in a hurry.
All right.
Okay, you got to have something to hold on to, because if there's a fire, horses have the tendency to run towards the light instead of away from it.
Okay.
So you need something to kind of hook onto him and get him out of harm's way.
Oh, okay. So the horse might be inclined to run into the fire.
Instead of away from it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's light.
No, okay. So they run toward the light.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And these are our pads, and we have some more saddles. We have blankets. We have the English as well as Western saddles. Okay, and I'll explain the difference. This is an English saddle. This is where most of the folks who jump and doing the fox hunt and the steeplechase, this is one of the best saddles to start on. You have absolutely nothing but your balance to depend on.
Right.
Okay, so it would teach you equitation, which is your balance.
Can I pick it
Sure.
up?
It's light.
Wow.
It's,
So you can see how it looks.
yeah, it's really light.
It's really light.
And it's nice and soft in the seat.
It is very soft.
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
But you got to earn the privilege to ride that
right.
one.
You have to earn the privilege.
The balance that keeps you in it. That's the only thing.
Right.
And as you can see, the Western is it's a little easier. It kind of gives you a little something to hold your hand. Plus, you can hold on to the horn.
Okay.
And
I've never seen a saddle up close. This is about the closest I've been to a saddle myself when it wasn't on a horse.
all right.
And this got some weight to it. Don't think this is light. This is, this is sturdy. This is a strong thing here.
Well, one of my saddles, we affectionately call it dead weight. Weighs about 38 pounds. And you got as
That one looks like, y'all might have to catch this one. That looks, I might have to get up on that one.
okay. You got as many different style saddles as you do cars, if not more. They do different things. Some is a roping saddle, some is a barrel racing saddle. You got different disciplines in the horse world, so you would get a saddle according to what you were doing. And then you see our helmets and our barn management equipment. They call it an apple picker, which is a manure fork. You can call them apples if you want to. different kind of apple. Okay, and then we have the grooming stuff and the fly spray and, everything that you need.
This is great. This is amazing. Right here in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
And look at this view from standing up here. I understand this is a double level. Look at this view. This is a beautiful, beautiful space. This is a beautiful space. And it's so quiet, so peaceful. You'd have no idea. We're right outside. Downtown Brooklyn is really only a hop, skip, and a jump away. Really not that far. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So we now we're getting a little bit more comfortable. We toured the location. We're looking at Debbie's Reins and things right down here. And what street is this again?
Douglas Street, 332 Douglas Street.
That's right, Douglas. I just use my navigational system to get us here. But we've looked around and we've seen some things in here. Now I want to just kind of talk about something that's really near and dear to Debbie's heart that's currently going on and she's working on. And it's her equestrian program for inner city youth and physically challenged youth. I definitely want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a program that has 4 components, and the first component is for the inner city youth and the remanded youth, the kids that are in trouble, or and the ones who are not, just to give them a little something else to do, to give them another option. We also want to reach out to the physically challenged children. Right. We want to give them we want to level the playing ground for them a little bit. Okay, we want to give them some happiness. We want them to be children, regardless of what the circumstances are. And we want the children who are not handicapped or physically challenged to mingle with the ones who are, so they can develop a tolerance for it, so they can understand that, these are children just like me.
Right.
Okay, and maybe I need to be a little bit more considerate because I can walk, but they can't.
Right.
So we need to appeal to a different part of our children's personality.
Right.
And then that way we can kind of make everything kind of smooth.
Now, since this is your passion, this is your life, this is what you do, what are some of, some of the misconceptions or I have to say myths or just things that people have no idea about what equestrian, what they think it is, and they find out that it's totally something different?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and it may not mean a lot, most people think horses sleep standing up.
Yeah, I heard that once.
They don't. They lay down just like you and I.
Okay.
Okay? For at least maybe 4 or 5 hours in the middle of the night or sometime whenever they feel like it, they're going to lay down and go to sleep just like you. They may even snore.
Wow.
Okay? So, but everything else, people are kind of, I guess another thing is that they're not mean animals. They're not mean-spirited because they're big. Their objective is not to hurt you.
Right.
Okay, they're very peaceful animals and they're very scary. They see things magnified. Okay. So if they see a piece of paper rolling down the street, to them it could look like a boulder.
Right.
And in some of the movies, you'll see the horse standing on his back leg, and the man is in front of him, and he's doing this. He's trying to fight that man. He thinks that man is that big.
Wow.
Okay, so that's just a few of the things. But they're awesome. They really are, and they're smart. A lot of folks think they're dumb. They're not dumb.
They're not.
No.
Not at all.
I had one that was, when I got him, he was like 22 years old. He knew 2 speeds. Stop and wide open. It took me a couple of years to work with him to let him know that it was okay to walk. It was okay to try. And every now and then when mommy says so, it's okay to go to that wide open field.
Right.
Okay. We had developed a relationship that was so good that it's something that they call picking their feet, which is that every day you need to lift a horse foot up. And you have a tool that's called a hoof pick, and you dig into his hoof to get all the dirt and manure and the stones and stuff that may get caught up in there. Well, Justice would lift his feet up when I say foot, let me do it, and he would allow me to slide up under his belly, and by the time I got to the other side, he'd have the other foot up.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
so
cool.
You develop relationships like that, and I have 3 now, and I'll walk up, it's like, okay, give me some nose. And it's like, okay, go ahead, get it over with.
Right.
You know, so they're very affectionate.
That's a beautiful thing. Man.
They're very affectionate.
So, so much happening, and it's a beautiful opportunity. I'm so happy I had the opportunity to come out and see your store and know that there's a piece of our history, our heritage from the cowboy era right here in New York City, in Brooklyn. That's a beautiful thing. And, before we get out of here, if there's anything any last thing you want to talk about, you want to let the audience know, I want you to, take this opportunity to give them a piece of Debbie Singleton and Debbie's Reins and things, and what she wants people to just really know about horses, to appreciate about horses, and then just the whole history of the cowboy era from a black woman's perspective.
Well, I feel that we need to bring our kids into it a little bit more. I think that this might be something that would be a saving grace, not for all of them because we can't reach them all, but for some. And if we save a few, then we're blessed. We always talk about the cowboys. We got one infamous, outstanding, wonderful cowgirl by the name of Stagecoach Mary.
Yes, tell us about it real fast. Let's talk about Stagecoach Mary.
Well, she kind of started her career working at a Catholic mission and hauling furniture. She had several jobs, but she drives Stagecoach. That's how she got her name. But when she was 65 years old, she started delivering the U.S. mail. Okay, and she did that for a while, and she finally retired. Maybe a few years later, she opened up a cafe. But this lady, she was out there. She was doing it. She was riding the horses. She carried her shotgun to make sure she had protection.
Right.
Okay, she took it. She handled her business, and she was a businesswoman.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
She had her own establishment, and that was way back then with all of the hardships and we're not supposed to have anything. She managed to do that. So I got to give her props.
Well, you know what? I want to give you your props for keeping the heritage alive, for keeping the history alive, for being right here in Brooklyn, for creating these opportunities for these inner city youth, because that's what it's all about. And however, the Urban Wall Street Project, whatever I can do in my capacity, I'm definitely want to be there to lend my support, come out and videotape the functions, the programs, the rodeo. Okay. You will see the rodeo because we're going to be at the rodeo. So you're going to see some things in the upcoming future. Debbie, I want to thank you for inviting us out to your establishment.
Can I say just one more thing?
Sure you can.
Okay, for everything we're doing, you can find all of that information at www.debbiesreinsandthings.com. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got the dance on April 19th. We got a rodeo bus ride that we're doing from down here on June the 7th, going up to Afton, New York to see those folks ride those bulls. So check out the website. Now, if you need to speak to me, I'm on 718-797-5288. Give me a call. Just say howdy.
Debbie's Reins and Things, Urban Wall Street Project. We on location right here. You see the store, you see all the beautiful things, you heard the history, you see the hat. The boy's shining in this, right? Whoa, we're gonna see you.